is going to,
Ma'am, it's me.
Okay, right. Hey, Shankar, right.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Shankar Janani, fourth year student of Faculty of Communication and Business Studies, Department of Languages and Communication Studies, Trincomalee Campus, Eastern University, Sri Lanka. I warmly welcome all for today's webinar titled on Inflection and Derivation in the Process of Word Formation by guest speaker Dr. Renuga Devi, Professor Emeritus, former Head, Department of Linguistics, former Chairperson, School of Linguistic and Communication, Madurai Kamaraj University, Madurai, India, member ICSSR Collegium. Before beginning this session, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Senior Lecturer in Linguistics, Dr. Niruba Jayasundara, Faculty of Communication and Business Studies, Department of Languages and Communication Studies, Trincomalee Campus, Eastern University, for providing this platform to us. Now I invite Dr. Niruba Jayasundara to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Renuga Devi. Over to you, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. Your is unmuted.
Okay, right. Sorry. So, thank you. Good evening, ma'am. And good evening, everyone. Our guest speaker, Professor Renuga Devi, ma'am, Professor Emeritus, former Head, Department of Linguistics, and former Chair, School of Linguistics and Communication in MKU, India, professors from various universities, from home to abroad, colleagues, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to this academic talk on inflection and derivation in the process of word formation by Professor Renuga Devi, ma'am. First of all, I would like to thank and appreciate ma'am for her kind consent to give us a special lecture on morphological processes, since we have a module of morphology in our syllabus, and this knowledge sharing would be an immense help for our students in their academic arena. I'm honored and very proud to say Professor Renuga Devi ma'am was the adjudicator for my PhD thesis, and she was one who pronounced my doctorate in Annamalai University. Thank you, ma'am. And I'm so proud to make this rare opportunity to my students to listen to a lecture from a well-known and eminent prof in linguistics in India. It's my pride and privilege to introduce her for today's academic forum. Professor Renuga Devi ma'am has received her undergraduate degree in chemistry from MKU, post-graduation in Tamil and linguistics from MKU, and PhD in linguistics from MKU. Her academic areas of interest are typology, language and communication, grammar, minority languages, translation, and Sangam literature. She has more than 33 years of experience in teaching and research in higher education, and bestowed with 13 prestigious awards. She has published 10 books and edited 5 books. Under her guidance, 10 PhD scholars completed their doctoral studies, and she was assigned with 1 postdoctoral fellow guidance. Apart from this, she has guided 28 MPhil scholars and 19 MA candidates. She has presented more than 23 international research papers on international conferences and 138 papers in national and state level conferences, and published her 25 research papers in reputed international journals and 91 research papers in national and state level journals. She was the resource person for more than 42 workshops and seminars, and a PhD adjudicator for more than 70 theses from various universities all over India. Professor Renuga Devi ma'am is a visiting professor and delivered more than 10 keynote addresses in several international national conferences and workshops organized by various universities in India. I can keep on saying her invaluable contribution to the academia, but due to the time constraint, I will brief and I welcome ma'am to this academic forum for her guest lecture. Please join me in welcoming Professor Renuga Devi ma'am, and welcome ma'am. This forum is open to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Niruba. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. And good evening to everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to interact with students of Department of Languages and Communication, Eastern University, Sri Lanka. So it was my long-time dream to interact with the Sri Lankan students because I read so many novels and the dialect which is with those novels are written are different. So I want to interact with the people. And Nuhuman also known to me for a long time. So I wanted to share my thoughts with the Sri Lankan people, also linguistic people. Once I set a syllabus for Kavida, where I don't know where Kavida is working. For that university, I set the syllabus. So in that way, I'm also a little bit related with Sri Lankan student. I thank Niruba for arranging these kind of lectures for the benefit of the students. So once again, for you and your team and the participants for this great opportunity given to me. So moving to the lecture, that title given to me or taken by me is Inflection and Derivation in the process of word formation. So in the morphology, it is a very small topic, inflection and derivation. So how will you define a language is a living language or a dead language? How will you decide? It is by means of the word formation. So if a language gives the way to formation of new words, and those new words enter into the lexicon of that language, then you can say that language is a living language. If a language doesn't allow or doesn't give way to formation of new words, then we call that languages as the dead languages. So there are certain languages, I don't want to mention the name of the language, which is considered to be a dead language in India. But most are living languages, and even the endangered languages are revived. Hebrew is the one of them example for revival. So the word form, it is very much necessary for a language to develop the words in that language. It should give way to the formation of words. So there are word formation rules, which says that it is a process by which an affix is added to a word or a stem. You can say word or root or a stem to create a new word, and the meaning of the word is modified in the same way. So there are several ways of forming the words. Modern linguists listed out the word formation process. So there are more than 8 rules. So on the basis of morphological peculiarity, I have given certain these word formation. These word formation process are identified by the modern linguists. So the first one is addition of affix. By adding an affix to a root or a stem, you can form words. So by derivation and inflection are those type of word formation process. So if you add ER form, an affix or suffix ER to and verb dance, then it will give you a word dancer, work, worker, cool, cooler, like that. And this is what we called derivation. I will give you the explanation later. And inflection. So if you add the grammatical categories to the stem or the root word, then it is called inflection. This, by addition of affix to a root or a stem, you can for a root or a stem, you can form words. Then by removal of an affix also, you can create words. That is what we called back formation. From addition and editor, you can format the word edit. That is what we called editing. Then compounding. Compounding is another process by which we can form a complete number of words in any language. There are different types of compounds. Here, I am not going to talk about the word formation process. I am going to talk about one of the word formation process, that is derivation and inflection. That's why I'm briefly explain what it means. Then the fourth process is acronyms. We had heard about acronyms, code, UNESCO, like that. So we will join together the first letters of each word and form the words like who, UNESCO, and there are so many number of words we can form. Then coming to blending. Blending is another word forming process. Here, part to form words. So breakfast and lunch separately. At about 11 o'clock, they used to eat the full meals. That is what we call brunch. It is neither breakfast nor the lunch. Both together, they used to take this one at 11 o'clock, around 11 o'clock, like that. That is what we call brunch. And when we travel in a bus in Tamil Nadu, the buses used to stop at the stations for the people to, if it is a long time travel, the bus will stop at certain points to take snacks or some lunch, dinner, breakfast, like that. So this motor stops at a hotel. So motor, hotel joined together, the place is called motel. So this kind of word formation is called blending. Then coming to clubbing, we're shortening of a word by the omission of one or more words. Say examination, from examination, exam, telephone, phone, and in Tamil Nadu, there are many towns. Tour is called Kovai. Like that, there are a number of place names are shortened by the process of clipping. Then the seventh process is called reduplication. This reduplication we have studied in morphology. That is, move the slide. Reduplication echo formation is formed in most of the Indian languages, Pulikili, Vidikidi. So these are all the word formation process, which are commonly found in all the languages. There may be one or two processes are missing in one or two languages. So these are all the word formation process by which new words are created in any language. So it is not necessary all this process should found in a language. See, coming to among these word formation process, we are going to see only the inflection and derivation. So those two are important process in the word formation. So the morphemes are called the smallest meaningful unit, which may not be split into smaller units. So these morphemes help for the formation of words, and these morphemes which help for the formation of words are classified into free morphemes and bound morphemes. Free morphemes again divided into lexical morphemes and functional morphemes, and bound morphemes, they are derivational morphemes, inflectional morphemes. So we are going to see only these derivational morphemes and inflectional morphemes. So derivation, coming to derivation. What is derivation? So derivation is a process by which the bound morphemes are used to make words are different of different grammatical category from the base word or the stem. So now do you know what is the difference between root and stem? A root may be a root always function as a stem, but all the stems never function as a root. So when the root takes ready to take an affix, it became the stem. So we can say that dance is a verb, and it is a year. Then that is the ER is the derivational morpheme. You get the word dancer, which is a noun. Dancer. Work plus year. Year is a derivational morpheme, worker. So in that way, here also I have given the words help is a noun and it is a base word. If you add a morpheme, derivational morpheme, full or less, it becomes helpful, helpless, which these words function as adjectives. So here we have seen that if we add the derivational morphemes to the noun or to a base word, the grammatical category of the derived words is changed. So that is the difference between derivation and inflection. So the addition of full and less to the noun results in helpful and helpless, which are adjectives. And in the example in which I gave, dance is a verb and dancer is a noun. So the verb is converted into a noun by adding a derivational affix. So derivation refers to the creation of a new word from existing one by adding affixes to the root. So you should remember carefully that when you add a derivational morpheme to a base word or a root, then it will become another. It will become another. Belongs to another word category. It is a major source of new words in a language. So derivation is the major source of new words in a language. Sing, singer. Is there any doubt? Somebody is raising the hand.
Is there anybody want to question?
Yeah, somebody is raising.
No.
Raising the hand.
Is that so, ma'am? No. You can continue, ma'am.
So you will have the question by the end of my lecture. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So by adding the relational affixes, we can get a complete number of words in a language. So sing is a verb base, and it is a verb, and singer is the derived word, noun, and singers is the inflected plural. So here singer and singer both belong to and singers is also a fix. The grammatic and inflectional morpheme to the stem, then the grammatical category of the base word never changes. That is the difference between derivation and so we can, able is an adjective. If you add a prefix n, it gives the verb enable. Like that, if you add er to the dance verb, then it will give dancer. So a noun is, a verb is nominalized to a nominalist. That is, a verb becomes a noun then coming to next one, the verbs are also become nouns. Verb become nouns. That is the answer, and the answer is the verb form, and here is the nominalizer. And like that, if you add a prefix, here is a verb, in is the derivational morpheme, and if it is joined together, it gives the word inherit, which is a noun. So a verb is, a noun is derived from the verb. Then coming to next one, from the nouns, we can derive adjectives. From the nouns, we can derive adjectives. Truth is an adjective. If you add a derivational suffix full, so as mouth is also a noun. And if you add the derivational suffix full to these nouns, tooth and mouth, it will give the adjectives tooth. And next one is an adjective can be derived from an adjective. Fatal is an adjective. Ism is the derivational marker, and from this we can get the word fatalism, that is noun. Like that, truth is an adjective, and it will give the noun truth. Sometimes I will come to this one. That is what we call zero derivation, something like that. So the same form, truth, without any change in the form, certain words act as verb and noun, adjective and noun, like that. So coming to next one, adjectives may be adverbialized. So adjectives, truthful, real, fast, these are all adjectives. Then if you add the li, these adjectives become adverbs, truthfully, really, fastly. So by adding them, normalizer, adverbalizer, adjectivalizer, verbalizer, we can get this normalizer, verbalizer, adjectivalizer, and adverbializer. By adding these 4 type of morphemes, that is bound morphemes, these bound morphemes may be suffix or prefix. We can create new words in there. Then, so there are certain type of morphemes which we call class changing. So I will give these things in the slide, but I will explain what is class maintaining morphemes, derivational morphemes, class changing derivational morphemes. These derivational morphemes again classified into 2 types: class maintaining derivational morphemes, class changing derivational morphemes. So far, we have seen class changing derivational morphemes. By adding certain derivational morphemes or suffixes or inflexes, the word class of the base word is changed into another word class. So the class changing derivational morphemes create the words from one grammatical category to another grammatical category. But there are, so the main definition of the derivation is, if a word is, then it is derivation. If the grammatical category of the word is not changed, then it is called inflection. But there are words, they maintain the word class. So those derivational morphemes are called class maintaining derivational morphemes. So, but there is a change. Friend is a noun. If you add a derivational morpheme ship, it will give the noun friendship. Both the base word and the derived word belongs to noun, but the meaning is different. Friend is different from friendship. In the place of friend, I saw a friend. Our friendship is very good. Like that, we can say both act as a noun, but there is a meaning difference in the both the base word and the friendship. So we can conclude that if derivational morphemes, what is derivation? So if you add a derivational morpheme to a base word, the grammatical category of the derived word is changed. So there are certain words which are derived words, but the grammatical category of that word never changes. So, but the meaning is changed. So, like friend, friendship, and hood, boyhood, boyhood, charge, discharge, lock, unlock. All are verbs. No, certain both of the base word and the derived verb, they belong to the same grammatical category. So these are called class maintaining derivational morpheme. So coming to the previous slide, a derivational morpheme like let in eyelet, armlet, derivational morpheme like let in eyelet, omelette, camlet tends to have more restricted distribution than an inflectional one that is like the plural suffix. So the derivational suffix, we can add these derivational suffixes to particular number of words only. But if you take the plural suffix, all the nouns will take the plural suffix. So it is said that the the derivational morpheme tends to have more restricted distribution than an inflection morpheme. So derivational morpheme tend to be more numerous. So the number, the derivational morphemes are more, but to occur in smaller number of combination. There are a complete number of derivational morphemes, but they occur with a smaller number of words only. See, here is less. These are all derivational morphemes. Next to develop is a verb, and if you add meant, it will give a derived word development, which is noun. Modern is a noun, and if we add a derivational suffix, like that, co-placement is less. You can add these derivational affixes to a limited number of words, not like the person, number, gender, markers, like the inflectional markers. So there are other number of derivational morphemes, and be, anti, de, miss, in, and suffixes in, ness, li, yet, full, yeah, meant. So there are still many number of derivational affixes and suffixes are available in English. So by combining these derivational affixes to a base form, then you will get a word. Then coming to zero derivation, as I have explained earlier, the creation of word form and existing word without any change in the form. So there is no change in the form. So conversion from adjectives to nouns, vice versa, are common. So green function as an adjective, at the same time, green function is a noun. Green vegetables, I saw the green field, like that. Clean function as an adjective, clean as a verb. Like that, there are a number of words. Dance function as a noun, and as well as dance a verb. I saw a dance function as a noun. She dances well. Their dance function as a verb. Dance, cool, work, like that. Talk, talker, worker, cool, cooler. Like that, there are number of words. Those words are called as a single word functions two grammatical category. So these type of things are called zero derivation, but the function is adjective at the same time. Green function is adjective at the same time noun. And verbing is the creation of a verb from a noun, adjective, or other word. It is a form of derivation. Telephone, a noun, and telephone, verb. Assess, noun, assess, verb. So this is what we call derivation, zero derivation. So I have number of examples for zero derivation. Coast function is noun as well as verb. She is coasting. She is coasting function as verb. And I have a coast today, like that. Chain noun, chain verb, gift noun. I gifted her, like that. The word, same word, function as a noun as well as verb. Talk, walk, Google, dance, work. So nowadays, I Googled it. Many people, you might have heard that I Googled something, like that. There, a function is yeah, verb. So these are called zero derivation because no change was necessary to form the word. There is a difference between zero derivation and class maintaining derivational words. Class maintaining derivational word. That is different. See, here is there is a meaning change in that thing. Here, a single word function as two grammatical without change in the form, they function as noun and verb, adjective and noun like that. So, but the class maintaining derivational affix. So there is change in the form, as well as change in the meaning. That is the difference between the class maintaining derivational morphemes and zero derivation. They should not confuse with these two. So these are all about derivation. So when you have derivational morpheme is added to a base word, if the grammatical category of that word is changed, then it is called derivation. And derivation is two types: class maintaining derivational morpheme, class changing derivational morpheme, and also zero derivation. So these are all about derivation. Then coming to the inflection, inflection morphemes are not used to produce new words in the language, but rather to indicate aspects of grammatical function of a word. So it's also the minor grammatical, we used to say the minor grammatical category. Those things are we called as major grammatical category, and these are called minor grammatical category. So these are also sometimes these things are called functors. The change in the form of a word to mark such distinction as tense, person, number, gender, mood, voice, and case. So if you want to show that these things, the grammatical relationship to a word, and then it is called inflection. The inflection morphemes which are found in English. So in English, there are some inflectional morphemes which we can list out. So the inflection things are less. So we can list out nouns can inflect, adjectives can inflect, verbs can be inflected. So noun inflected for what? Nouns, next slide. Please move on to the next slide. Say to a base form or a category of that, the major grammatical category of that word is not changed, then we call it as inflection. And it's the minor grammatical category, the relationship between the base form and the minor grammatical forms are shown by inflected morphemes. So noun is inflected for plural, as we know. Noun is inflected for, if you add the plural marker s to nouns, they inflected for plural form. Dogs, cars, these are all called regular change. Sip, children, action. These are all irregular formation of plural form. We have studied Naida's principle. The plural form of the ship is ship, child is children, the action is the plural form of action. These are all irregular formation of plural. So nouns are still nouns are inflected for plural forms, and if you add the plural form to the noun, it will give the plural nouns. The grammatical category never changes. The relationship, it is a singular and the plural. So there are two types of plural forms. One is regular plural and the second one is the irregular plural form. So I gave that. The nouns are inflected for possessiveness, possessive marker. So it marks for the ownership. And what is the relationship or the function is also I have given. Rama's book and Sita's garden, like that, the possessive case marker. And nouns are inflected for the possessive case marker. And the adjectives, they inflected for comparative degree and superlative degree. Comparative, closer, whiter, quicker, faster, like that. I am closer to somebody, like that. She is my closer friend and she is my closest friend, like that we can say. So clear, closer, clear, whiter, quicker, faster, mark for comparative, and closest, nearest, quickest, fastest are marked for superlative. Even if you add this inflectional morpheme, the major grammatical category of the base word never changes. Closer is close is adjective, closer is an adjective. Like that, close is the noun, closest is the close is the superlative. Like that, the grammatical category of the major grammatical category of the base word never changes if you add the inflectional morphemes. Verbs inflected for third singular present agreement. So third person only. But we won't take this agreement marker, but the third person, he, she, it, they take the agreement marker. He runs, she walks, it pushes. I run, we run, like that. So if it is third person singular, then it will take the agreement marker. Yes, like this, Kiran, she pushes, and she wants, she likes, like that. And its verbs are also inflected for past tense. That's we know. Dragged, walked, kicked. There are complete number of things. They are regular. There are fit, run, up, and fit. They are irregular forms. And past participle form marks for past participle: chosen, proven, regular one, drank, drink, drank, hang, hung. They are irregular and regular. And the verbs are also inflex for present participle and working, running, I'm working, I'm running, I'm jumping, I'm swimming, like that. So here in these things, if the inflectional morphemes are joined together with base form, the major grammatical category never changes. But the relationship between the base word is mentioned by the inflectional morpheme. So I gave the examples, how it works out. If you now add a plural form, yes, to the noun, we will get the nouns, the plural of the particular noun. Doll plus s, doll's, leg plus s, tree plus s, legs, like that. For all the nouns will take the plural marker, yes, and give the plural forms of that base form. Both are nouns. What is the difference? That is singular and the inflected word is a plural. Both are noun, and you are going to add the inflectional marker, the plural marker. What we get is the inflected word, which is also a noun. The difference between the base word and the inflected word is one is noun singular, and the another one is noun plural. Then like that, if you add the possessive marker, we will the possessive inflectional marker to the noun, we get Ramas, Geetas, Kamachis, like that. Murli, Kamach is Murli's friend, like that. And the comparative marker is an inflectional marker, close plus air closer. Close is adjective and closer is an adjective. White, whiter, both are but there is a little change in the meaning. Like that, if you add the est, the superlative marker, which is an inflectional marker, if you add this inflectional superlative marker to the adjectives, we get the superlative degree. That is close plus est, closest, quick plus est, quickest. Then so there is verbs also inflected for third person singular, as I have said earlier. He, she, it have agreement in the present tense, like she runs. That is he wants, not the wants. There is a mistake. He wants, and it goes like that. Then verb inflected for past tense, as we know, drag, dragged. The base word as well as the inflected word, both are verb, but drag is present tense, dragged is the past tense. Bag, bagged. So these two are regular verbs, and sometimes now it is not necessary to add the inflection marker ed to the verb, the present tense verb, but there are changes in the internally. So run becomes ran. Run is the present tense, ran is the past tense. And in the case of kit, kit is the present tense as well as kit is the past tense. Here there is no necessity to, but in the case of kit, there is no necessity for adding the inflection morpheme to the verb form. But there is an internal change in run and ran. Then if you add the past participle to the verbs, you can get past and the inflectional morphemes to the verbs. We can get the past participle form. Choose plus inflectional morpheme gives the Susan an inflected word, past participle. Prove plus en, proven. Like that, we can add past participle form, past participle inflectional morpheme, verbs plus past the inflectional morpheme. Present participle to get the I'm walking, I'm swinging, I'm swinging, swimming, singing, I am singing. There is a mistake. So like that, if you add the inflected morphemes to the base word, the major grammatical category never changes, but it exhibits certain grammatical relationship. So an inflection morpheme never changes the grammatical category of a word. Both old and older are adjectives. Both girl and girls are nouns. Both bound and bounded are verbs. One or two grammatical mistakes are there, spelling mistakes. So an inflectional morpheme was added to each word, but it did not alter the word's class. In other words, the nouns remained nouns as grease, greases. The adjectives remained as adjectives, nice, nicest. The verbs remained as verbs, notice, noticed. Instead, the inflectional morpheme simply change the word's form to reflect tense, aspect, number, superlative, comparative, and so on, as explained previously. So, it is not necessary. The grammatical category of the base form and inflector word are not same. So it gives the relationship between the words. In both an inflectional and derivational affixes are attached to a single word, what will be the order? If you want to add a derivational morpheme as well as an inflectional morpheme to a single word, what will be the order? So you have to add the derivational morpheme first and the inflectional morpheme last, because the inflectional morpheme are word closing morphemes, but the derivational morphemes are not word closing morphemes. So you can add a complete number of derivational morphemes one after another. But if you add an inflectional morpheme to a word, then there ends the formation of word. So you cannot further worse from that after adding the inflectional morpheme. See, dance becomes dancer. Dance is a verb. Dance here is the derivational morpheme, and the derived words is a noun, dancer. And if you add a inflectional morpheme, the plural morpheme, yes, then dancer becomes dancers. So is it possible to add tree plus yes, trees? After that, is it possible to add any morpheme? Oh, no, it is not possible. So after adding an inflectional, derivational morpheme, you can add a derivational morpheme or an inflectional morpheme. After an derivational morpheme, you can add some more morphemes, but not after the inflectional morphemes. So that is the order of the morphemes. If you want to add derivational as well as inflectional morpheme to a word, the inflection morpheme is the word closing morpheme, whereas derivational morpheme is not like that. You can add after derivational morpheme after derivational morpheme. So the adding an inflection morpheme and ends the further formation of any word. So coming to the difference between the derivation and the inflection, NIDA he gives this definition, the difference between the derivation and inflectional formation. So, being to substantially the same general external distribution classes as the simplest number of the class in question. So, if you derive a noun from a verb, so this derived word belongs to the simplest form. That is simple word. The dancer is a derived word and it is a complex word. Dance is a simple word. So dance also functions as a noun. So this derived word belongs to the external distribution of that class, which the simplest form, that is the simple, if the derived word is a verb, it's also substituted in the place of the simple verb. If the derived word is an adjective, it can be distributed in the place of simple adjective. So like that is the first difference. But inflectional formation do not mean to substantially the same external classes as the simplest member of the class in question. So you cannot substitute girls in the place of girl. So girl is a singular, girls is a plural. So you cannot distribute girls in the place of girl. So that is the inflectional formation. Tend to be inner formation. The inflectional derivational formation are and tend to be an inflection with formation. So you can define what is inner and outer formation. See, I will explain later. And then coming to the third one, tend to be statistically more numerous. As I have explained earlier, the number of derivational morphemes are many, but it can be restricted to certain groups. Less numerous, they are less in number. So the grammatical category, which gives the meaning of person, number, gender, voice, tense, like that only. Ed is a past tense marker. So if you ed, you can wherever it comes, you can say that work, worked, walk, walked. This is the past tense marker. So they are less in number. But this derivational, if you add a derivational morpheme, so dance, dancer, work, worker. Dancer is different from worker, like that. There are more number of, so dancer is a separate word, worker is a separate word. But here, in the inflectional category, it is not like restricted distribution. So as we have the derivational morphemes with more restricted distribution. Say that air form is added to certain number of verbs to derive the nouns, like that. So this the distribution of the derivational morphemes are restricted, whereas the inflectional morphemes with more extensive distribution. You can add the plural marker to any number of nouns, but it is you cannot add the er form, that is the adjectivalized nominalized certain number of words only. So then coming to the fifth one, may exhibit changes in major distribution class membership. That is the major difference between the distribution, the differential suffix, affix to any base word, the grammatical category of that word change. If it is class maintaining derivation, then the meaning will be changed. So there is some change in the grammatical category or in the meaning. But in the if you add inflectional morphemes, there won't be any any change in the grammatical category. Coming to the sixth one, it forms the words. You can derive new words, empty number of words by means of derivation. Here also, words are inflected for grammatical relationship of the singular noun to plural noun. So, like that. Present tense to past tense. Like that. Comparative, superlative, like that. You can give that. You can get the relationship between the words, but here in the derivational formation, you get newer words. So NIDA list out all these 6 differences between inflection and derivation. Coming to the last part. that is the conclusion. A derivational morpheme can change the grammatical category of a word. You should remember, whenever you want to explain derivation and inflection, you want to differentiate between derivation and inflection, you should remember this, the major thing. If you add a derivational affix, there will be a change in the grammatical category, noun to verb to noun, and adjective to adverb, adjective to noun, like that. And if you add, and this inflectional affix to a word, it gives the grammatical relationship. So the verb teach becomes the noun teacher if you add the derivational morpheme er. An inflectional morpheme never changes the grammatical category of word, but shows the relationship between words. Both old and older are adjectives. The er inflection simply creates a different version of the adjective. So the suffix form er can be derivational morpheme as part of a noun and also a inflectional morpheme as part of the adjective. Just because they, that is the forms like er, look the same, doesn't mean bound morphemes. So the major difference, but if you add a derivational fix, the grammatical category will change. If you add an inflectional morpheme, then the relationship of the get. That is the major difference, main derivation, and there are derivations in these things. And what is conclusion? See, once again, I thank Nirva and her team for giving me this opportunity to talk, to share my thoughts on inflection and derivation and the process of word formation. Thank you all.
So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
This forum is open to you. Any questions or your thoughts? We are welcoming your questions and thoughts.
Yeah. Am I clear, Nirva?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Very clear.
Yeah. Ask your students to give some feedback.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure. So there is a comment. Nice presentation. Thank you, ma'am. That is from a phone number, no name. Students, please clarify your doubts. You are the one who requested me to have this topic, and this is a rare opportunity to clarify your doubts with ma'am.
Yes, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
Yes, madam. First of all, thank you for your great presentation, madam. It is very helpful to clear our all doubts in derivation and inflection. And finally, the given comparison between inflection and derivation also very clear to us. And thank you for your presentation, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Prashant.
I also thank Muralidharan, Kamachi, and Shivashanmugam for attending this lecture. Out of interest, they are attending regularly now. I thank them also.
Yes, normally I send the links, ma'am. For each and every lecture, I send the link. Yes. Fourth years. Yes, there is a question from Professor Muralidharan.
Ah,
Very interesting presentation to the students. Is feet a verb derivation?
yeah, inflection. Foot and feet. Foot and feet both are noun. So the grammatical category doesn't change, no? Plural. Foot and feet. One is a singular noun form, the another one is the plural noun form. So it is a overt differentiation, covert differentiation, covert morpheme. We call it as a covert morpheme. Singular to. If it is there, it's really sorry, Murli.
Yes, the special degree students.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
Thank you so much for the insightful lecture, ma'am. Actually, we could able to clarify lots of doubts about derivation and inflectional morphing. Thank you so much for the effort you put into the these preparation. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, you are welcome.
Thank you. Yes, is there any questions from the third years? Chamit, are you here?
Yes, madam.
Yes. If you have any comments or questions, you can ask. Second years? Divishan?
Everything is clear to them.
I think so, ma'am. Yeah. So this is the last call. Any questions? Thank you, Professor Muralidharan, for your comments. So, okay. So, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
And we'll move on to the next thing, that's vote of thanks.
Okay.
So, who is
Before that, I thank you.
Prashant?
Thank you, Nirba, Murali, Kamachi, and Sivasanmugam, and all other participants, which of their name I am not able to pronounce like correctly. Yeah, so I thank all the participants.
Yes,
That's it.
Chamali? Are you there? Vote of thanks.
Yes, madam. On behalf of everyone attending this online webinar word formation, first and foremost, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Renuga Devi, for sharing your profound insights and expertise on this intricate aspect of linguistics. Your clarity and depth have enriched our understanding of how language evolved through inflection and derivation. You explained everything with sound examples. So we deeply appreciate Dr. Renuga Devi for her invaluable insights. Thank you, madam, for generously sharing your expertise with us. It has been a privilege to learn from you. Next, I must thank to Dr. Niruba Jayasundara, Senior Lecturer in Department of Languages and Communication Studies, who encouraged us to conduct this session and her attempt to organize this enlightening evening for all. And also, I am truly grateful to the presence of Dr. Rohan Savrimuthu, Senior Lecturer in Department of Language and Communication Studies. Finally, I extend my sincere gratitude to all the participants who joined us from different corners of the globe. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Chamali, for your vote of thanks. So thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank
It's a pride and
Thank you.
privilege to have you in this online platform. Thank you, Professor Kamachi, for joining this webinar. Thank you, ma'am.